Hey guys, Dan here with another book review. This time we're reviewing David Sedaris' Theft by Finding, and this is subtitled Diaries from 1977 to 2002. Now, first off, I want to mention that for some reason, society, people in general, are just fascinated by reading other people's diaries. I know this as a matter of fact because you always see it. I can't give specific examples, but you always see in some TV show or in some movie how somebody snuck in and decided to read somebody's diary. So there's got to be something true about that people are just fascinated by reading other people's diaries. And what is it exactly? Is it because we think that people are only writing their deep, dark secrets in a little book that they think no one's ever going to read? Maybe. But anyways, that wasn't the only reason why I wanted to read this book. I've read almost everything written by Dave Sedaris. He has written some really funny stuff. Some things have been kind of mediocre, some things have been just okay, but then, I think his older stuff was his best stuff. Like Me Talk Pretty One Day and Naked were some of his better works. But I have been, diligently reading everything he puts out. So I saw this. I decided to give it a go, even though it is diaries. I haven't really read a diary in a very long time. I did read the Andy Warhol diaries a number of years ago, which was excellent. It was really good. I think Andy Warhol was a little more interesting than David Sedaris. Sorry to say that. But this was kind of interesting. He starts out by introducing the title and explaining why he calls it Theft by Finding. A friend of his from England, had said something about the title. I really don't remember what it means, but it's based on some phrase from England, Theft by Finding. And he decides to go with this for his title for the book. And he does admit in the introduction that these are edited diary entries. So you're not getting everything in its pure form. One of the things I have to say is this book is not going to be for everyone. And I say this because there are some scenes or some ideas he goes over that may be triggers for people. It does deal with, he grew up in the South, and it does deal with casual racism, which I found interesting. Because he talks about, people he works with, and these are people who they're in the KKK, and he feels he says at one point, he feels like the guy was trying to get him riled up by talking, badly about other races. And I found that to be interesting because, I've never been down south, so I don't know what it's like. And I'm not assuming that everyone down south is like that, but it was just a little interesting to see a little glimpse into a culture that I'm not familiar with. That being said, no, I don't think that everybody from the South is racist. I'm just saying what I picked up from the book. That's all I'm saying. But I do have to add that the most interesting part of this book were the early years before he got famous. The things he wrote about seemed to be more entertaining, more lighthearted than when he started to get famous for his writings. He isn't even really that interesting because he goes to IHOP almost every day, and talks about the random weird people he comes across while eating there. He seems like a really boring guy, if you ask me. But it only gets worse. The first quarter of this book, I was yeah, I'm loving this, and I was thinking about rating it 4 stars. But then when you get about to the halfway point, it's where he starts to become more famous for his writings, and it just gets really humdrum by that point. And I have to admit, it was really grueling to finish this book at this point. I had started reading this maybe sometime at the end of November, maybe the beginning of December. I don't really remember when I started it, but I do know that once I hit the halfway point, it was just really a struggle to get through and finish this book. I was hoping that I was going to finish it before the end of the year, but it just didn't happen. Okay, so it's a few days after the new year, and I finally finished it, only because I pushed on through. but I did finish it. Now it ends with the 2002 diary entries. I'm assuming he's going to keep on with this, and I'm going to say right here and now, I don't even want to read another book of diary entries, especially after the half of this book I just trudged through that I just did not enjoy. I say that now, but then because I know me, and I know I tend to pick up everything this guy writes, I'm probably going to pick it up and read it anyways, so I know I'm saying I'm not going to read it, but I probably will read it. But yeah, it's just okay. Can you get by without reading this book and still be a fan of David Sedaris? Yes, you can. You can get by without reading this book. It's not something. It's not like in his list of books that it's not a must read. Let's say that. I did rate this only 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It's just okay. If you're kind of just looking for maybe a glimpse into another culture, like Southern culture, like early 80s, late 70s, it's kind of interesting in that regards. That's about it. He does talk about 9/11, and he was in France at the time it happened, but I was someone who lived through that event myself, and I kind of remember, I think we all have our own story about that, so I just didn't find it to be that interesting. It was just okay. It was an okay read. Of course, as always, I will have a link down below if you'd like to purchase a copy for yourselves to check out. Any and all purchases made through that link will greatly help out my channel. I have the views, I just don't have the subs to get the AdSense back. That's all I got for you. If you're new and you're looking for other book reviews, I do tend to review a lot of comics, graphic novels, and trades. I do regular book reviews. I'm going to try to do more regular book reviews this year. Go ahead and hit that subscriber link, and while you're there, hit that notification bell. That's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. Till next time, later.